right, folks, it's your Pratte Pack with one more preview of the C.J. Better's Holiday Classic happening at the Community College Golden Dome on December 29th and 30th. We are at the historic Midland Leopard, now Lincoln Park Gymnasium. That's Coach Mike Boriski of Lincoln Park. You're going to meet him in just a moment. But every time I come to this gymnasium, I think of people like Kuzma, McCluskey, Aloy, and yes, those were the coaches. Nick, of course, did play here before becoming a very successful coach for the then Midland Leopards. But some of the greats that have played here, of course, from that 65 team, you think of Simmy Hill and Norm Van Leer. And then through the years into the 70s, Willie Glover and Chuck Gomez and names like McGlure. This is truly Western Pennsylvania's answer to Hoosiers. And now, if you will, let's meet the coach of the 2015-16 Lincoln Park basketball team. Karwoski, thank you for giving me help on my Samsung S5 phone, available, of course, at AT&T. Rethink Possible. Your Pratte Pack takes care of everyone, especially during the holiday season, because you just never know what someone wants on their Christmas list. My Christmas list is always to be, as I just mentioned moments ago, in this place. I have seen some great basketball games here, but especially for many years during their holiday tournament. And over in that far corner, I saw my favorite coach high school basketball. Yeah, John Miller is one of them, but the real fact of the matter is Susie McConnell-Serio, truly, in my opinion, one of the greatest college coaches and coaches anywhere on the planet. But this place has so much history, folks, and I alluded to that earlier. And a guy who's making some new history now is the athletic director at Lincoln Park and also the basketball coach, Mike Boriski. And Mike joins us right now. Before we get into this year and some of the players, you're going to be a part of the C.J. Better's Holiday Classic coming up at the CCBC Golden Dome. And it is a throwback. It's one of those holiday tournaments that you remember when places like Crucible Steel across the street had thousands of people. J&L had thousands of people in the mill, and they just couldn't wait to spend some time with their family during the holidays and get the ticket that was the biggest ticket in town, and that's a holiday basketball tournament, and that's what they've got now in their 24th year at the Dome. Pretty exciting, huh?
It is, and you know, you said hit the nail on the head about the throwback. Every year at the Better's tournament, we wear our old Midland uniforms. So we will be dressed in a replica, not the old uniforms with the little shorts. So for when we face Alderdice in the first game, which I think is the feature game there, and Alderdice is one of the best programs, teams in the state, we'll be wearing the old Midland uniforms from '65. So we replicated those to honor Midland, to honor the home of basketball. And we believe in Pennsylvania, this is the home of basketball. And so to honor Midland and also we're wearing the old Midland uniforms. We are.
Pittsburgh, and I know Mr. Trombetta, who is the founding father of cyber education, who is the big reason why this gym is back, why this town is back, on this wonderful 3rd Avenue in Midland for the first time in decades. We've always talked about city schools, and places like Shenley no more, and I just got a call from my friend Joe Dentisi, who went to Peabody, so it's just wonderful they're going to have Alderdice a part of this great basketball tournament. It's going to be everything for everyone. Hope to see you there December 29th and 30th. Now, Deb kind of went over some of your players. I'm just going to kind of go through some names, and hopefully I remember their names. DeMonte Wellington, tell me about him.
DeMonte Welling, he's 6'8", senior. He's the nephew of Devontae Watson, who's a 7-footer that started for us, who's out at Temple. Big guy, very active. He is our physical presence. So that's our big guy.
Nelly Cummings is not your big guy.
No, but Nelly plays above the rim. He's a 6-foot point guard, Division I recruit, Villanova, West Virginia, Robert Morris, Indiana, a few Ivy League schools because he's a great student. First team All-State, Pennsylvania, AA Player of the Year, I believe. Runner-up last year, McGinnis won Player of the Year. So Nelly's a great player for us. And in Midland, there's in Midland too.
Xavier Kraft.
Zay Kraft, another Midland kid, 6'3", power forward. The thing about Zay, he doesn't know how good he can be now. I mean, he's a great inside presence, very strong, plays above the rim too. Zay gives us that inside game, that inside offense that we need.
All right, now correct me if I'm wrong, this might be his great uncle, because he was a player here, went on to Bowling Green, was a heck of a shooting forward, had a tremendous tenure here as assistant coach, head coach, went on to East Liverpool, resurrected that program. Nick Aloy, what's the connection?
Great uncle.
I was right.
You were right. He's the last coach at Midland. So Nicky 2-year hiatus, tore his ACL his freshman year, sat out his whole sophomore year, half of his junior year. Came back, really wasn't ready to go. The WPL ruled him ineligible, unfortunately. He's at full strength. You know, he is an absolute little animal. He's 5'11", getting recruited by MIT, CMU, Chicago University, New York University, and I think a few other Ivy League schools. Nick's really our point guard. He makes things go, shoots the ball well, extremely strong. Makes it really tough to trap us with him and Nelly.
All right, we were talking about the last basketball coach. My friend Nick Trombetta was the last football coach.
Right.
And I remember, true story, a fall back in the 80s, he and I alone as he was coaching his team, and as they say, Rome was burning, and he was so optimistic. And I literally was almost in tears with my head down thinking, this is the end of one of the greatest sports stories in the history of Western Pennsylvania. In his own special way, he said, you just gotta believe. And boy, he really did reignite this community and lit the lamp again. And you can't say enough about our wonderful friend who recently lost his amazing mother. And you think about his immigrant parents who came here, worked, dad in the mill, mother worked twice as hard raising he and his sister Elaine. They both became highly educated. He gets a PhD, and he really writes the chapter that we now know as cyber education. It truly is an American story.
You know, it is. For Nick, I'll give you a little known story. Back in 1973, when he was at Quigley, and I was at Quigley also, Quigley came down here and played, and back then in the 70s, Quigley was kind of a powerhouse in football. And he was a fullback on that football team, and they came back, and we came down and played the undefeated Midland Leopards. And 3rd and 1 from the goal line, some other running back ran the ball all the way down the field, and when we got to the 1, Nick Trombetta took it over to win the game 6-0. It's Midland's only loss. They went on to the WPL championship. You know, unfortunately, Quigley was playing in another classification, didn't get there then, but Nick Trombetta scores the only touchdown to beat the Midland Leopards back in 1973.
Last story, then we're going to wrap it up, and your Pratt Pack's going to head back home. I love women's basketball. That's probably my favorite sport. If I had my druthers, and this, no all respect to you or anyone else, if they gave me a choice of tickets across the board, I would take the NCAA Final Four, and hopefully Pitt will be there someday. My biggest joy in the world. Now you've got a women's young girls basketball team.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about that in a moment. My daughter's taking a year off. Hopefully she's back on the court for Quigley next year. I love Quigley. You went there and Nick went there. Not a finer place to educate your children. But my dream, and I would wrap it up and you'd never see me again, I'd get on a horse and ride out of town, if my daughter was on this court playing Lincoln Park representing Quigley. Tell me about your girls team and where are they? And I know each year they've gotten better, but look, all of the wonderful things that this place does, and we'd be here all night, Lincoln Park, PA Cyber. I believe, this is me, your Pratt Pack, you still need sports, part of the fabric of community, and it brings everyone together. And I think ever since Title IX, it's been one of the greatest things that's ever happened. Where is that program right now, and how significant is it to you as the athletic director?
You know, Title IX is a big impact on why you have to do things, but you need, you know, we have all of those ancillary things, what Lincoln Park is about, the dance, the music, the theater. But, you know, a lot of the girls were crying for softball, they're crying for volleyball and basketball. And again, we're in Midland, where basketball is the thing. So we knew that we needed to have that here. So we brought Bill Manier in. He was the coach of Stowe Rocks for years and years. He's the girls coach, and his daughter also plays. 2 years ago under club and with Western Beaver, they won a game. Last year they won 4, and already now I believe they are 4-2. Right now they're at Hopewell playing right now. So they're in the big AAA section. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of girls out for the team. There's 14 girls, but they are very competitive. I think they'll have an opportunity to maybe compete for a playoff spot. And they're all young. We have 1 senior. Most of them are sophomores and freshmen. So we're looking that Lincoln Park Lady Leopards are as successful as the Lincoln Park Leopards, the boys team.
It only makes sense. No one can jump as high or as accurate as a ballerina.
Absolutely.
So you know
Absolutely.
what? You get 2 for the price of 1. Listen, I love this place. I love this town. God bless the Trombetta family and you and everyone who just continues, even though Nick is no longer part of this amazing story, it just continues to build as far as a wonderful story. And I know it will be a happy ending. Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Always great to see you.
CJ Better's Holiday Classic, December 29th and 30th at the Community College Golden Dome. Good night, everybody.